So I'm on day 2 of my water fast, and I was taking a walk in the beautiful forest this morning, and I had a realization around presence. And that is that, there's definitely subconscious programs from the past. Circumstances that have happened that have created these triggers in our body that still sit if we haven't processed them, if we haven't felt them and done the alchemization work that I talked about in the other video this week. But there's also the constant conversation about the future that can really take us out of the present moment. And I feel like the mind always wants to take us out of the present moment. Why? I don't know. It's like a survival instinct for the mind. It's a strong sense of identity for us. We really feel attached to it. It feels familiar. It feels comfortable. But I was noticing as I was going on my walk that I was having this conversation around the future, and it was just taking up all of the space, and I wasn't even present with this beautiful, sun filtering through the leaves and the trees and the wind coming through and all the little animals around. And it was just in that moment I realized it. I heard the loop, and the loop, which is very interesting because I think that anything around the future is going to be like this. The loop was about something in the future saving me in terms of just making me happier and making me a happier being. When in truth, I know that the only way that I can be truly happy is to be actually aware in this moment. I know that. And so I was totally unconscious, right? In these fantasies about the future, which I'm still going to go for those future plans, but what I'm not going to do is to allow it to take over the moment of now. When I take time and I sit down and I say, okay, this is the time where I'm going to plan for this future moment, that's fine. But I don't want to be planning for the future moment when I'm taking time to walk in the woods. So I wanted to just bring up this conversation because I think it's a really important one, and I think everybody has it, is where can you notice where you have looping that's happening about the future? And I just want to share a story because I think a lot of people can relate. I used to have it that once I got into the perfect relationship, everything would be good. Everything would have worked itself out. All of my problems would vanish, and it would be this utopian experience of just, being completed, right? What's that line in that movie? It was like Jerry Maguire, "You complete me." I think it was Jerry Maguire. Anyway, I remember that line. I think everybody remembers that line. It's like, it's something that I think we think about a lot of things, that they're going to complete us in the future. So it's like you're dangling that carrot, right? But that carrot's always dangling. And, I got to the point where I went through enough relationships and enough really hard times in relationship to realize relationships are not going to make me happy. They're not going to be my source of happiness. They can be a place where I share my joy, but it's not going to be my source of happiness. And when I realized that whole conversation went away. It just completely disappeared. So I'm bringing this up to say, notice where those conversations are in your own life. Which things are you thinking about in the future that are going to save you? Is it a relationship? Is it another career? Is it when you start your business and leave your job? Is it when you leave your business and start a job? Is it, when you're healthier? Is it when you have a family? What is it that's in your space that's getting in the way of you just being in the bliss of the moment, in the bliss of the right here, right now, which can escape us when we're in the mind? It's not there when we're in the mind. It's like covered, it's clouded. So it was kind of this beautiful moment where I was just sitting on this rock and, I realized it. And then of course, in that moment, I became awake and aware, because all there is to do is be aware of it. When you're aware of it, it starts to dissolve right then and there. So I became aware of it. And then the wind started blowing through the trees, like really strongly. And it's such a warm day today. It was so interesting. And it was almost like the universe was like, yes, You're present in this moment, and so we're going to respond with you. We're going to co-create with you, because the only time you can create, truly create, is when you're in the present moment. If you're not in the present moment, then you're regurgitating something from the past. It's not fresh, it's not new. It's a reconfiguration of the patterns from the past, which is why you have to be really clear when you're going forward and moving forward towards the things that you want, that those things are not external, but those things are internal. Like, I'm going to become a better person. I'm going to be the best version of myself, is an intention that you can never go wrong with. If it turns into, I'm going to create a new career for myself, you can still do that, but if that becomes your primary intention and not a result of being the person that you can be, it's got those traps for you that bring you back into the mind and that draw you back in to depending on external circumstances, which is not the recipe for happiness. So I just wanted to share that with y'all today. I hope that you got something from it and that it helped you along on your journey. And I would love to hear any questions, any insights from you in the comments below. Love you guys so much. See you soon.